this day very vividly still, right?
Yeah, it was sprite with everything, basically. All of the engines, even the engines that some people considered as not that strong. But I think that the players are ready and we don't want to waste any further time. So let's go straight into game one.
You're that bit rate though.
So Samir, I think, was very famous for playing the Sprite deck for quite a long time, and it was a very cool deck, and he had a very creative take on it, but this time he's turned up with Rescue Ace. What do you guys think of that?
I think both decks that we're going to see here are very interesting because I expected more from both decks to see so far in the featured match area, because Rescue Ace is tied for being the most represented deck in the tournament, but still we were missing it so far in the featured match area. But here we go with Samir picking that deck, maybe the most popular deck or like the most popular choice among top players of this event. And then also, of course, we have Vanquish Soul's second place finisher deck of YCS Dortmund returning again here with Marvin Kamara, and he gets his Stake Your Soul ashed right away by Samir Bashar.
That's a bit yikes, but no more Raisin follow. Let's go.
He really needs access to Raisin, the best starter.
Hello, can I please reduce my volume?
It looks like Marvin has just engine, but not the good card. He's going to reveal a Pantera right here, special summon.
Pantera is good.
After the Stake Your Soul got Ash Blossom. So it looks devastating for Marvin because
not
with
great,
just the engine you have
Rock at Vanquish.
That is true.
Pantera, sorry.
The Rock of the Vanquisher right away
to
get back that Pantera in our hand, and I think we give it over to Samir. So we're just staring down that one Rock of the Vanquisher and nothing else. That card has 0 attack points. So
Most
Samir
impressive Vanquisher board.
facing a free field here. But let's not forget, Rock of the Vanquisher also has a quick effect in our opponent's main phase to bring out one monster from our hand.
Josh, you know well enough. What deck do you think I would enjoy in the meta now? That's really hard to say. I'll get back to you afterwards though.
Failures or something like that, so it's not over just yet.
But what a dream scenario for Samir. Like, normally you go second, you expect your opponent to do quite a lot of things, but with just the one Ash block...
Imagine how good this board would look with an ulti Rock.
Your opponent passed on no attack points on the field at all, and now you're basically...
Ulti Rock is hot though.
From OTKing your opponent by activating Pot of Prosperity, because you're only going to deal half of the damage you were supposed to deal.
Both players are X2, so it's literally bubble match.
6 cards of your deck and just choose one and add it to your hand, which almost always leads to a playable hand to access to your combos.
Yeah.
I think this is the longest Prosperity banish I've ever seen.
Do you think the cards you banish change a lot based off of what deck you're playing against?
Yeah, I think you are definitely mixing it up a bit, and I think in Samir's extra deck there are some very interesting decisions, because for example I see Power Tool Braver Dragon, which is a pretty unpopular choice, but he has decided to go with it. And I think also the Rescue Ace deck is one of the very few decks that is relying on 2 copies of SP. So I'm pretty sure SP Little Knight at the end of the day is probably going to be the most represented extra deck monster in the entire field. Oh, and of course we see there's also the Sinful Spoils package in there. And we are going to go with the Abelstar, the Black Witch.
You don't get OTS 24 to March, right? I actually don't know.
And of course, we have also seen the enemy controller in there to dodge possible impermanences or
Fire Attacker
or Ghost Mourners going.
That's good info for Marvin.
He just loves this card.
Yeah, it's a very Samir card, isn't it? He just kind of plays one of everything.
Yeah, and we discarded the Rescue Ace Fire Attacker there for the Witch, and that is another interesting choice, because it's not really the
Rock
most...
effect or something
people don't see this as a staple in the Fire Rescue Ace strategy, because it only lets you draw cards, so usually people do something else instead. Oh, okay, it looks like we use
What's Pantera's?
Of Pantera. Which one is that even? We revealed...
destroys a spell.
Oh, destroys all spell traps in the column.
In the same column, so that worked. We do go on with a normal summon, and that's Ricadato.
No more Ricky.
In theory, I think we're also playing, we're playing the Isolde package in our extra deck, so that may be the route that he wants to go for.
That's a very creative interruption there from Marvin, because normally the...
I think I should try Power Tool Braver, and if you know what's a lot of pluses, not really.
Ooh, but that's also, of course, a potential Synchro summon here, and yes, of course, it is a Synchro 8 into Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon, and we are trying to get that Ricadato back to the field.
Then this would let you make a level 9 Synchro, which is
that must be the Power Tool Braver Dragon, right?
So we know he has Earth,
Okay, but Valius
Fire,
is
right?
being chained to that.
So it just needs
Valius
a
is bringing
dog.
himself to the field, and if we have the right attributes to reveal for Caesar Valius here, we could maybe destroy one of the monsters on Samir's side here.
That is looking good. Depending on Samir's extra deck, he could then tribute the Stardust Dragon to some.
Oh, look at that! He's
OG
revealing his
Stardust
entire
He has
hand, so
Bolga.
we do have the right attributes to at least
This is
destroy one
Rysart,
card, and we are
Bolga,
destroying the Axel
and
Stardust
the
Dragon.
Pantera.
Samir Bashan now has perfect information though, because he has seen the entire hand of Marvin Kamra, so he knows what is.
Watch this emergency come down.
Pot of Prosperity. There are only, I think, 2 cards, maybe 3 cards. I think rather 3 cards in the hand left of Samir Bashan.
Wait, this is full combo with Braver? Yeah, you just equipped Durandal.
Oh, did he? Okay, no,
That looked like a pass, right? But
very briefly though, so we are not completely sure about that. Maybe we are discussing the interactions right here.
they're just confirming what happens there.
I think he hasn't normal summoned yet, or did he normal summon the
Vanquish just wins here. Not really. They need to Bolga draw into. They don't have a dog for Bolga.
And then you thin your deck a little bit, and then maybe you can grab some non-engine, or if your opponent interrupts you, know what you need. So if your opponent's first card is Pot of Prosperity, it's normally a...
So they just need to like top deck
without a lot of
playable.
engine. We've already seen multiple interruptions come through Marvin, so maybe this might be enough.
Yeah, there goes original Sinful Spoils Snake Eyes activation in the graveyard now, though. And you can draw one card through this, so maybe Samir kind of hoping for a Destiny draw moment here.
Add Hydrant.
Wait, he's searching
you can
hydrants.
search a level 1 fire monster.
Ooh,
Use that effect.
true, you're right. That's also the other way of searching out Hydrant, but do
But
we
they
have a
reveal
way to put
Pantera,
Hydrant
Bolga,
onto
and
the
the
field, or is this set up for next turn?
Rysart.
Maybe we can just activate Rescue
SG Rysart.
discard and special summon out the Hydrant, but I don't think that this is somehow possible. Let's see what the Ricciardetto is going to do right here. We see another spell card in Samir's hand. He is linking away now.
But
This might just
must
be a
Anima,
Linkuriboh.
Linkuriboh, something like that.
Linkuriboh?
It is Linkuriboh indeed.
It does banish itself to summon... It just has to summon a warrior, or does it have to can it summon any fire, the Ricciardetto?
Let's
Oh,
see.
Ooh,
but
alert
there
target
is
fire
another
attacker.
card
Fire
that he
warrior
can
monster.
use, and that is of course one of the
Makes
one-offs
SP
in
at
that. This
least.
is alert, an alert can just smash it, summon out one from the graveyard, one of your rescue ace monsters, and there we go.
That is a card
And then
that
it's full
needs
combo
to
and
draw
follow-up, right?
draw
Because we can
some, but I
Hydrant,
think you would rather
add
use
Fire
the
Attacker,
fire
and then
go for an
banish.
SP
I mean, like
Link
Link for
right here to get
tribute
rid
the
of rock and
Hydrant
the
for
Soul Caesar Valley and ready to
Karibo, and
I
then
don't
special
see
summon
that.
Fire.
Marvin is going to add some cards to his hands.
The,
before the draw, so I think
Turbulence,
this is
sorry.
rather just trying to break the field.
Banishing the Fire
If you
Attacker and the
want
Hydrant.
follow-up.
Oh, yeah. Are we
Oh,
banishing
Can
the
he not
rock?
target this? Caesar can protect itself.
Yeah, but Caesar, you can only use one of the effects.
Alright, okay.
I think. I don't think you can use both, so I'm a little confused as well.
Or even like Hydrant add Airlifter.
Okay, so
No, 'cause we
Sideboard
normal Hydrant.
Giving it over, so Marvin, in theory, has a very
just gets
easy
Turbulence,
way
or
to
can
get
get
rid of the
Preventer.
Husky Moonlight, because there's a monster already on
Yeah.
the
Why
field
did we
being
banish
big
Rock?
enough
I have
to
no idea.
Just attack over it.
And
Maybe because we want to chain SB to the Bolga,
Okay, now. Then
which is what we're doing here, because then the Bolga stays in hand, and then in phase it'll come back, and then he can't ever tag out, because SB will always tag out the Caesar.
Yeah, I didn't think that made
But
too
the
much
problem is here,
difference.
is that the Rock can just, you can link off the
Yeah, move the SP a little bit.
Caesar for the Rock, and then Rock
Okay,
add
it's back to Marvin
summon from
after a
hand.
Really
Summon the
bad
Bolga.
opening. He is still in this. He found a way to interrupt Samir enough, and I think Samir's hand also
I'm just
wasn't
gonna go
that
battle
great.
phase clear.
And now Marvin kinda taking over the
Going
lead
to
position
Rock.
here. And just imagine
Unless he drew a
mixing
dog
with
for
another
Bolga.
Stake Your Soul, or maybe just the Raisin itself. That would be really good for him.
Yeah, I mean, the face down card for Samir is also very vulnerable. Just another
Yeah.
pop for Caesar Valius.
Ooh, yes,
Exactly.
indeed. We are revealing the 3 cards we have already revealed, and Samir just lets it resolve. It's impermanence, and that's just gone. And that's an interesting.
Why
decision
would
to
you set
decide
this
to send
imperm?
that card, because it was pretty obvious.
Like, just keep the imperm in your
Just
hand.
Go into the battle phase, go
You know
over
he's gonna
the,
probably
SP
try and
limit,
bait the
then
SP,
see if Samir
and then your
would
imperm is
use
just
it.
live from hand.
Kept the impermanence in the hand, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, this Caesar Valius being a proper boss monster here, it's going to pop
Yeah.
a card next turn as well, if it stays on the field. But, I mean, Marvin can do some shuffling around. He can bounce it for Heavy Borga. He can turn it into a rock and then add it back to his hand and special summon it. He's got a lot of options, even with this suboptimal start.
Yep. There comes another Rock of the Vanquisher.
Summon
we wanna summon
Pantera.
out the Pantera again, as we did in the last turn.
Rise Sword.
There is now, okay, we have a rank 4 coming up with the normal
Goose.
summon of Kashtera
Oh,
Rise Sword.
Dempsey.
And there comes Dempsey, and Dempsey would finally be the way into the Raisin. There we have it, but he cannot normal summon this turn anymore. But, of course, we can summon it out through the rock.
Yeah, he hasn't used the rock effect, so yeah, he should be able to do that.
And now maybe he also finds his way by using Heavy Borger in his hand to get some non-engine going, to get some of those hand traps that are very valuable, or maybe there can only be one. I don't know if the deck is actually running.
You can't add Jiaolong here, you probably just add Madlove to have your Dark Hole Borgo.
Right in front of me,
And you can follow up Brock summon Madlove, bounce a card.
But this is still a great situation for
Bounce like the Hydrant.
Absolutely. Dr. Madlove is being added to his hand now as well. And Dr. Madlove, of course, gives you the option to also get into spell and trap cards. And let's not forget, there was a really, really great addition to the deck in Age of the Overlords. It's Vanquish Soul's Snow Devil, which is a
we get
trap
Jiaolong
card now, which kind of has replaced Dust Devil a little bit. Dust Devil usually was just a Book of Moon effect, which was nice, but Vanquish Soul's Snow Devil does so much more for you because it has 3 different effects. It can be an entire field wipe, so Snow Devil really is great. And Samir realized there's no way coming back from this. And Marvin, after a not so great opening, sealing the deal here for game number 1. Impressive performance. And Vanquish Soul, after being in the finals of YCS Dortmund, maybe coming back and taking down YCS Bologna.
I'm gonna quickly go pee, because I really desperately need to go pee. So excuse me, I will be right back.
Ideal opening. It's kind of a good showing for the deck because it seems to want to be a deck that kind of has a 1-for-1 trade with your opponent, and then you get incremental advantage with Caesar Valius, with Raisin. So I thought that was a really great showing for it.
You kind of have to fight your way there. It feels a little bit like Time Wizard 2005, the warrior deck that just wants to trade 1 by 1 and then get a little bit of tempo, a little bit of chip damage here and there. We haven't seen the Heavy Borger, my favorite card from the deck, that is sometimes just a great win condition by dealing 1,500 damage directly to the life points of your opponent multiple times. We have seen that a lot also from Lukas Janssen at YCS Dortmund. I mean, the deck has gotten new support, so it's gotten a little bit better, but what's striking me the most is that the main win condition of the deck was that it just plays perfectly with there can only be one. That was the point, that was the reason why it stood out to everyone at YCS Dortmund. Now the deck is not even running it anymore, so you can't rely to this on this floodgate.
Yeah, for sure. It's still super successful. And I mean, I was speaking about Snow Devil being a new card in the deck, but there's also a new monster that is really, really strong, and that's Vanquish Soul Jiaolong. Jiaolong is actually incredible because you can just special summon him out when you have revealed cards in your hand for a Vanquish Soul effect. So that's happening a lot, as we just saw in game 1 already. And then you can just reveal 2 fire monsters, and there are plenty of fire monsters in the deck to search any
Vanquish wins. Okay, bro, okay.
So I think Jiaolong,
Fucking SB is so power grip, bro. Love that card. SB and Sprite for me is so goated. By the way, I need an updated sprite list. I will get back to you eventually. I think Samir kind of planted that set a bit. So yeah, you should have just kept the Imperm in hand. Vanishing Rock was like fine. It wasn't the best, but it was fine. I think what really threw was the setting in Boom.
The Isolde package being very popular at the moment too. Sometimes there's a firewall package. I saw that at the top tables too. So there's really many different ways of approaching the Rescue Ace deck.
And funnily enough, Rescue Ace is considered one of the best decks in the entire format. Sure. Maybe it is even considered the best with just a little edge on the other top 4 decks right now, which are probably Tearlaments, Pearly, and Unchained. Unchained, and Labyrinth is also up there as well. But people have considered Rescue as
what a weird way to shuffle from Samir.
This is why people were also shifting away from the deck, because everyone is so prepared against it. But we haven't seen it on day 1 in the feature match. Of course, there are Rescue players in the tournament, but we have spotlighted other decks. And now this is the first showing, and it loses 1-0 to Vanquish Soul right here in the first game. But I think that the players are ready for game 2. Let's see if Samir can take it back. Let's go over to the game.
His opening certainly wasn't perfect either in game number 1. Let's see what Samir can do here, whether he can show us some set forward moves, some turbulence effect resolutions, or maybe just a hydrant to begin things.
Do you think Rescue Ace is kind of the opposite?
Oh, shit.
But first of all, Marvin wants to lead this game off in the standby phase.
Is that Judgment? Just set Judgment and pass, I guess. You Prosby first, and then you set Judgment and just Judgment the normal summon. And then hope there's no Stake the Soul. Stake your soul.
You can never question Samir's deck building. He makes some decisions that I think a lot of players make differently. You know, he likes to run...
Could essentially shift the easy. Dude, hold up.
And yeah, the Prosperity I think has been a pretty stable 3-0 for a lot of Rescue Ace players.
He likes to keep it fun and breezy, you know, improvise in some situations. I mean, that's what makes a great deck builder and a great Yu-Gi-Oh player as well, if you're confronted with new situations. And you're also confronted with newer situations.
If the emergency summon to upset 4, no need for plus.
Deck building choices, people do not always expect what Samir is running, and that throws them off guard. I really like his playstyle.
I think it's actually a really good decision, because when you just mix it up, your opponent cannot... Because it's very popular for top-level players to look at the opponent's deck in game number 1 and then prepare their playstyle towards the tech cards that they are choosing. And if Samir is having different tech cards in game 1,
I got a beautiful droplet.
All just one-offs, then you cannot really prepare against it. So I think it's really working out for him, and that is why Samir has been such a
very pretty
player at the top tables over years now.
It's very hard to play around every field-breaking card there is.
Indeed.
And then...
what do you think Samir was looking for off that Prosperity? Because he doesn't look like he was very happy.
Venturity, yes.
But I'd have thought the Fire Hydrant is pretty high priority.
Hydrant is high priority. The thing is, Hydrant on its own is not combo. So I don't know whether that's going to be the perfect card to grab there.
Under Shifter, it's pretty hard to combo. You need basically you need an
Hydrant at Airlifter. What's this line, by the way? Did you not have Airlifter?
That's true.
And I got a little QC there.
Being activated,
The
equipped to the Hydrant.
lighting doesn't do it any justice though. Durandal at Ricordetta, banish Ricordetta, summon Airlifter, add emergency, summon Turbulence, tribute the Airlifter, and then you get to set 4. Okay. That's like decent.
Will be the airlifter that we just searched off of the Hydrant.
That's nice, using it as an extender there. And we get the emergency, and as you were just saying, Leo, this might be our way into the good old Turbulence, which he's playing as a one-off, by the way. I think it's like really popular to play this in multiples, like 2 copies of it.
And then I got a little evenly matched as well.
Samir loving his one-offs, right? He does not care. He just wants to play one card.
And they're hot, and I love them.
He does not send a card from the field to banish. He chooses to get rid of the impulse from his hand.
And then I got a few others, but they're cheap.
This is also a reason why you try to sometimes play multiple copies of Turbulence.
I'm just a little confused, sorry, Leo. I was going to say, surely Samir's about to make an SP Lil 9 here.
Was that Imperm on Turbulence? So you got Dark Reborn and then you're just making SP? I'm buying those from you? Sure. Oh, Baron! Wait, how?
Dimension Shifter as True, that's true.
Wait.
Dark?
What's the tuner? Huh? What the what? What's the tuner?
What are we going for?
Wow.
Oh, we
what?
Dimension Shifter as synchro material for our Baron de Fleur. Impressive play there by Samir. Even coming to that solution there, realizing there's a level 6 monster sitting in the graveyard of Marvin.
Wait, maybe Ricordetta makes it a tuner? I think it has to be that, right?
Marvin only with 4 cards left in his hand.
Does Ricordetto make the airlifter a tuner? Is that what's going on here?
It must be.
Yeah, as a tuner.
Because Leo is looking.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Samir knows.
That was great stuff by
I was so prepared for Dark SP. Holy shit, there's actually a Baron.
Come down. Ooh, okay. Pressure planner race off.
And we're letting this resolve.
Fenrir kinda clears though.
Now, especially as the Turbulence is a one-off, you have used a lot of your resources. If you can get your Preventer into the graveyard, then you can special summon out the Turbulence later on, which I like a lot. But you've gone through a lot of your stuff. You really want to win with this little setup that you have.
Indeed. So Fenrir has been at it.
But it's a very little setup, isn't it? There's just one Baron de Fleur, maybe a face down. But he's got no Rescue Ace monsters, so that can't be one of the Rescue Ace trap cards. Well, it could be, but it wouldn't be useful if it was.
Yeah, and we haven't even really talked about it just yet, but you see the score of the players. Both of them are on 7
Baron
wins
negate
and 2
Fenrir.
losses. So this
Just
game,
looking for
this
sick card
match
now.
really matters to both of them, because most likely the loser of this match is going to be out of the tournament, and only the winner is going to stay in and have a shot at making top cut in this.
And Marvin is far ahead right now, because the Baron was already used on the Fenrir, a card that is not even part of the Vanquish Soul engine. You're going to banish a 6 card now. Find the Raisin, hopefully find the Raisin, and just get going here as Marvin.
Yeah, that's true. But like, there's one card in the back row of Samir that I could see him helping to survive this turn, to just use it right away on the summon of a Raisin, and that would be the Solemn Judgment. If he just uses Solemn Judgment on the first summon of a Vanquish Soul monster, he makes sure that Marvin never gets to a monster on the field, and then the Vanquish Soul can kind of struggle. Okay, so he
So his choices are Raisin and Caesar, depending on what he wants. He might want Caesar to dodge the set Impo. He might need Raisin to start combo.
Indeed, it is not. You're right, you're right.
Okay. So he wants Caesar to protect himself from the Impo.
Caesar Valius was putting in the work in game number 1, and he has decided to just grab it again because it was so good in that first game. Is it going to have the same impact?
What that says about the rest of his hand. He already has the Raisin.
Oh, and as I was anticipating, Samir is saying no, 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 no. And he's going to activate Solemn Judgment, paying half of his life points, getting rid of that Raisin right away. And that might be the window
And
how
just pause
Samir
there.
can still win this, because it is his turn again. Can he put up 8,000 points of damage here somehow? What did he draw there?
Did we have follow-up?
On that Solemn Judgment.
Not really, right? Like, we spent everything.
Smiling there, he knew, oh, this is going to stop your turn, isn't it? And now he is just sitting there waiting with a few cards in his hand, quite a few. But does he have Steam? He didn't have the easy way into the combo last turn. What was the draw that Samir Bashar got? Because the Baron effect to special summon something from the graveyard obviously is not working this turn.
Yeah, it's looking very empty there, that graveyard, isn't it?
Both players without a graveyard. Samir at least trying to figure something out here, so there could potentially be a way. There is probably a monster that he drew. Okay, we have the Diabellstar Witch,
that is
which
full
is a
combo.
pretty big monster already. This is close to game like that, but I think he's not done with it just yet. Discarding the Ash Blossom, understandable. He figured out a way, I think, to go for the game here, I'm pretty sure.
At this point, you can just start to go for your normal combo, right? You must have some Hydrants in your deck.
But no more Turbulence, as Basti mentioned, just the one.
Yeah, but you can summon out the Preventer.
Oh yeah, that's
then
good.
Link it away.
Back,
and
welcome back.
Summon out the Turbulence Banish. But you don't really need the Turbulence, you just need the damage.
Let's see, Samir thinking about it. Is he going to activate the Sinful Sports Snake there that he just sat?
I mean, this plays into Ash, but I think you really want to win this turn. You don't want to give your opponent another turn, because the only thing that stopped Marvin last turn was that Solemn Judgment. You don't have that anymore unless you drew it from the top, but I think that the Diabellstar, the Black Witch, was the top.
Oh, Samir breathing heavily after seeing that Marvin has no response to the Sinful Spoils card, and there is Hydron on the field now, and that is a good-looking field now for Samir.
Normal airlifter at emergency.
I'm wondering whether he drew that Diabellstar Witch, because that was a really, really good card to draw there.
Very uplifting.
Is this M1 or 2? Main one.
Right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So is this just enough with the, if you just search emergency here, activate emergency, get Preventer, and then tribute the Preventer and get Turbulence? That looks like more than 8,000 damage.
Would absolutely be more than 8,000. Samir just
It's not a Turbulence line, it's just emergency add Preventer, right? Like,
final point. I think Samir can do it even under 5 summons, right? This should be easily doable.
or emergency summon Preventer, rather.
Light monster, and you don't really want that in Vanquish Soul, right?
Yeah, true. You kind of have struggles to include that card, and I can confirm there is no Nibiru in the main deck, yeah. And also not in the side deck even.
Okay.
Okay, what is that going to be?
Okay, playing around
Just
Noob.
in case there is a Nibiru, we just go for the Appaloosa, and I mean, we did link away the Preventer with that, right?
I think that was an Airlifter. Right, was there a Preventer?
Okay, we're just sorting our banished cards. Appaloosa is being summoned. Oh wait, there was no Preventer, you're right. Emergency being activated. scrolling through our deck, so there is the Preventer now.
Love it. Special summon out the Preventer and immediately send it to the graveyard to trigger it and special
Okay,
summon
so we're not going for an
Now
OTK
we
line.
finally get to
We're just
reveal
doing setup.
The Rescue Ace Turbulence, the heart and soul of this oh so powerful deck. Setting now, I think, 3 cards because we drew the one-off.
It depends, because actually
Could be
he's
alert
sided
rescue.
in
Yeah, it's all
another
four.
trap card for
Oh, wow.
the Rescue Ace cards, and yeah, there we see it. He has decided to side reinforce, so he still is going to set 4.
If it wasn't
Shuffling,
the
of course, those cards. Now he's setting
other one, it was going to be emergency anyway.
Rescue this turn, right?
Yeah, exactly. He didn't even shuffle it. He didn't even want to bother with that, because he's just going to activate it right away anyways.
Now we're having a little bit of a discussion, but now we get
It's
to
all
it.
good.
It's
Did
all
he set
good.
alert rather than rescue? But that still works anyway, because you just search another preventer and special.
Yeah, the judges were just giving me shit for a
Samir
second.
totally knows what he's doing. He probably has tested this deck for a very, very long time.
This is
And he has
almost
found
enough
a way
damage.
here with the top deck of Diabellstar Witch
It's
to put 8,000 points of damage onto the field.
what, 25 or 28 from Preventer, 24 and 3000?
400 and the 2,800 and 3,000, and
Which
that
is game,
supposed
apparently.
to be enough for the game. Marvin Kamara packs
That is a
up
line and a
points.
half, by the way.
We are now tied 1-1. Samir having a crazy good Solemn Judgment, followed up by a Diabellstar, the Black Witch, from the top of his deck to grant him victory in this
You
game.
can't beat a European champion that easily, he says. I think his move was really cool. He was like, nah. Solomon Judgment is going to stop this, and we're going to move on with his duel. And he's now fully back into
I
his
would have
strategy,
deadass played
fully
into
back
nib, and then
into
if you get
the
nibbed, you
What
just
do you expect?
prevent to
If
summon
some of the cards going second, do
the
you think
Turbulence
second
and then
is gonna
set
be
4,
even more
and then
aggressive now? Because
yeah.
we see there's Change of Heart, there's Droll and Lockbird, there's Enemy Controller, Featherduster, Lightning Storm, Nibiru. There's plenty of cards.
I would not have seen the line where I go, oh, I'm gonna make Appaloosa, by the way, with my Baron. What the fuck?
Vanquish Soul. It's a tricky deck because it doesn't do a lot.
But also, who
Most
plays
decks are
Appaloosa in
up,
Rescue
You
Ace?
have a few on the field and then a lot from your hand. So what's the play here?
I think Nibiru is like the most interesting card in the side deck because it's hit or miss. And I wouldn't even be sure myself whether I would include it versus Vanquish Soul, because if they start comboing really, now especially with GL Long being around, being another card to summon out, I think it's usually around.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, the extra deck is, from looking at Samir's extra deck, it looks like it's toolbox. And so a lot of the toolbox is like generic stuff, but Apple is usually way too high investment for Rescue Ace, so not a lot of people play it.
Want to include, but I think one card, again, only a one-off also in his side deck that I really like is triple.
You think it's viable to play Judgment in main if you know exactly what to stop an opponent's combo to kill them? No, absolutely not.
Vanquisher only is an effect that you can activate in the main phase as a quick effect on your opponent's turn. So Talons will basically always be live versus Vanquisher. So that card I really want to include, and I think Change of Heart and Enemy Controller are also great options.
The only problem is your opponent can basically choose which card you're taking with triple tactic talents, because you can just always bounce your monster back. However, I think
it's viable to main deck some Floodgates if you know how to efficiently use them, because Floodgates can still be decent going second, but Judgment is just
your opponent your best card, and that's
really bad.
I don't think you want that exactly, because like some decks don't really have a way to do anything with that stuff. For example, if a branded player takes over one of your Vanquish Soul monsters,
Judgment doesn't remove cards from the board, it just prevents cards from getting on the field and prevents your own stuff from being broken. And so if you draw it going second, it's not doing anything to help you win the game, it's just preventing the opponent from playing, which they've already played, so they win.
Even though he's going second in this last game. Honestly, both games
Like main D barrier? No, that main bad trap cards.
Avarice
Avarice and Brand is stupid but works because you dump so many monsters to grave, you just shuffle them back and repeat? No, don't do that.
Also was enough.
You only lose in Branded if you get ashed, and Avarice is not going to help with that.
So his setup wasn't that bad. Against 4 cards, he had Solemn Judgment, a Baron de Fleur negate, and an Ash Blossom in hand. That usually can win you the game, and it did win him the game there.
Do you think it was actually the Ash Blossom in his hand? Because there was a resolved Pot of Prosperity. So maybe the Ash Blossom was the drawn card in there.
You're right. It was either the Diabellstar Witch or the Ash Blossom, one of the two.
I will have to read the Diabellstar, because maybe you can't even activate this under Shifter.
I think
by sending one card from your hand or field to the graveyard. I think this is not cost, right?
That is.
No, Branded, don't lose the Ash. I will literally ban you.
I think it is cost, but you can't send a card from your hand or field to the graveyard. We should know this.
I mean,
I don't
it's
think
pretty
you
easy
can
to answer.
summon it,
When
yeah.
it is cost, you can't activate it. When it's not cost,
it's not cost.
When it's not cost, you can activate it. But still, like, banishing it, of course, is
But
also
at least
nice.
to Ash equals Copium, I think you're more on
We see
Copium.
players are finalizing their shuffling. They are ready. They know what's at stake here. Especially, of course, Marvin Cameron knows that he has to stake his
Ending
soul
on one
basically with
interruption
his
of then
Vanquish
Ash
Soul
Blossom is
strategy.
not
He will be able to
is
go
not
for it
playing
in this
through or
deciding
around
game number
Ash.
3. So let's get into it.
That's called fucking ass inboard. That anything can be.
Alrighty, it's time for the decider right here. Samir versus Marvin. Samir Bashar versus Marvin.
I faced Brandon today. I Ashed him 2 games in a row. GG.
Samir arguably a bit more established than Marvin because he has been to
Nice
the
2-0.
World Championships before. He is a European champion and he has won a Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series. The biggest one in Europe, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so there goes another Pressure Planet race-off as we had it in the last game.
I love seeing Vineyard in Vanquishal because it gives the opponent so much free information. Like if you add a fire, it gives you information. If it adds earth, you give information. Hey Yoshi, how you doing? Bernard loses deep area, not Ash, loses to both.
Well, it depends. If your first action is to normal summon Raisin, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But if your first action, if your hand looked like
Durandal add Raisin, and they'll probably, depending on if we have Ash or not, we'll probably Vineyard add Rise out.
Normal summon, get that one search, and you look at it and think, oh.
Recovering? Shame. Was shit's that hard. Stake your soul. Reveal Raisin, summon Jalong. I would Finra search before I go stake your soul for Jalong.
So hard right now, and we're going to see what has he revealed for Stake Your Soul, by the way.
I couldn't tell, but there is the Jalong that I was talking about that he just summons out off of the Stake Your Soul here.
Must have revealed a Razin then, right?
Yeah, most likely it was just the Razin that he
Double
revealed.
Razin.
Okay. Oh, it's 2 Razins even. He has 2 Razins in hand. So we are revealing 2 fire monsters to search out.
Had a massive brownie yesterday at Jets. Hopefully it was nice.
Except for another Vanquish Soul Jalong, but I don't think that's high up on the priority list anyways.
It's not even possible because he only
Imperm Jalong.
Oh, but
Chain Caesar.
Jalong, but there's Caesar Valius being chained. So that's so good about the Vanquish Soul strategy. You have so many ways to dodge infinite impermanence, and therefore Samir just wasted one of his cards in hand, and nothing really happened with that.
We can actually add
very high value of a play there for Marvin.
Mad Love and then Rock Summon Mad Love as well, add Snow and then end on a rank 4.
Well, they might have an answer to it, but this is too important.
40 milligrams?
And
Jesus.
now the 2 new cards working together.
When I have 40 milligrams, I go to sleep. And you're over here doing Jujutsu. Add an Earth.
Well, we grab another Earth monster through the effect of Kashtira Fenrir, being another Kashtira Fenrir, so that our Caesar Valius also will be able to destroy cards next to
Normal
We have
Raisin.
not even normal summoned. Marvin lives in a beautiful world right now, grabbing himself Heavy Borger 2 here.
Yeah, Marvin is just overall having a really good time right now. Fenrir is so good in this deck. He did not get rolled on this very search-heavy hand. He has multiple interactions already on the opponent's turn. He has this very powerful trap card.
Yeah, he has the Fenrir as well. He has all the attributes.
Just draw in the Vanquishal player's hand. I can't see.
Dark monster to draw off Heavy Borger, I guess.
Rock, add back Caesar.
I mean, he's got, having all the attributes for Caesar Valius already is fantastic.
Set Snow Devil. Boss.
One card into the spell and trap zone. It's not really something that we have to guess about because it's very obviously the card you just.
So this Volga isn't actually being summoned, right? It's just in the hand for the dark attribute.
How many attributes he can reveal for that? All of the effects are going to resolve. Sometimes you have to choose. Are you going to go for the 1, go for the 2, go for the 3?
Okay, hit around the screen to see. Shut up.
If you can reveal all 3, you're just going to resolve all 3 effects too.
Well, you do have to destroy all monsters on the field, so maybe you don't want to destroy your own.
Yeah,
Yes.
the thing is
What
you can
level is
protect
Borga? It's
your
level
own
7.
monsters very regularly through, like the Vanquish Soul monsters at least. So you would have to destroy your own Fenrir, but your Vanquish Soul monsters can easily be protected. Okay, but Samir starts things off with the good old Change of Heart taking over Fenrir, and that is pretty good for him.
Is he running the Kashtira package himself?
I was thinking that.
It's my 13-year wedding anniversary today as well. I saw, hey? Congrats.
He went for the old school Fenrir in his deck. He's main decking Dino Wrestler Pankratops. But there's no Fenrir package in his deck, so he can't capitalize as much, to be fair.
to be honest, this is still a very, very good change of heart right here.
For sure.
This is one of the best cards you want to take away from your opponent onto your own side of the field. It progresses your own game state so much more, and you're immediately attacking.
Then your attack Raisin, Winner effect, target rock.
To banish face down the rock.
Okay, so we are in the battle phase. Marvin was thinking about whether to do something at the end of main phase 1. Obviously, it would have been the effect of
You just have to
the
play
main
through the Snow Devil.
against it. And now he's going to get that one banished, and also the Raisin is going to be run over by the Fenrir.
There is another Raisin in hand though, so we can go like Snow Devil, summon Raisin, Raisin out, Mad Love,
How do you like
summon
that
Caesar,
now?
Caesar
I like
pop,
it.
and then summon Borga, draw a card.
Exactly, so...
Then we still have the Raisin pop as well, I think. Because you have Jalong in hand.
So the Raisin, the Kashtira field spell buffs all of your monsters by?
So we still got like
for different attributes, so Raisin should have
1, 2, 3,
boosted by 2
3
points
interruptions.
there, but that's still enough for Kashira Fenrir to run over it.
Raisin can protect itself as well, but only from card effect destruction. And let me tell you, this attack was not a card effect destruction.
True, okay, now another summon, and that's another convenient way of getting rid of the Kashtira Fenrir by just sending it for the effect of the Witch.
That was the most value out of one change of heart I think I've ever seen. It just took took the one Fenrir, which then destroyed 2 other monsters, and then got sent. It would have been even better if he'd had his own Fenrir to add. That would have just been...
Yeah, that would have been top-notch for real, yeah. Okay, we use the on-field effect of the Abelst of a Black Witch, setting the Sinful Spoil spell card. And Marvin just lets it happen for now.
Marvin is going to still be able to destroy all the monsters on the field at one point, and the battle phase of Samir is already over. So Marvin has
Human Hydrant, you might consider Snow Deviling here.
He has the Heavy Borger, he has the Caesar Valiant, and he has another Raisin, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And that is a big setup.
When do you do it?
When there are more monsters than just the Hydrant.
But the Hydrant will get more monsters.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, the Vanquish Soul Snow Devil itself is just going to protect your own monsters, because
Reveal
by
3, summon
revealing
1.
different attributes, it says Vanquish Soul monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects this turn. So it's kind of
Summon
protecting
Raisin.
its own effect, you know? So that's really cool. Oh, I think we
Yeah.
just used it there, right?
We have immediately Snow Devil right here.
It summons a monster as well?
Yeah, that's the thing. You summon one out, you protect all of your monsters, and you destroy all monsters on the field. Like, this card is completely crazy, and that's why it was high priority for Marvin to search it out.
Yeah, that's incredible. I didn't realize it.
Add Mad Love, so the Dark
Yeah,
for
it's
Borga.
really good. So Raisin is being summoned here.
And remember, there's no battle phase anymore.
Indeed. So Marvin's turn is going to come back to him there.
Raisin is going to sit there pretty, searches out a Dr. Madlove, and don't forget there is also...
Oh!
But now, that's what I told you. Marvin can now
That's
do this part.
fucked.
Samir will take over.
Oh.
It will be very much annoying for him regardless.
Raisin reveals the Jarlong, but I think that's a really smart play here by Marvin, because that will lead to the Jarlong being able to trigger after the resolution of the Triple Tactic Talents,
Very
and
good.
then Marvin will have a monster again on the field, which he can use with the Valiers. Look at that, Jarlong on a new chain. So even though Samir wanted to make sure
Needs
there's
to have
no
another
monster
fire in
field
hand,
for
right?
Marvin, there again is the Jarlong.
Very well played.
Absolutely, and Samir doesn't like it. He again is shaking his hat. In the last game, he was shaking his fingers, signalizing you ain't going to win this game. But now he's shaking
And
his
2
hand,
Raisin in
so
hand,
I
right?
don't
I
know whether
hope.
we can really have too much hope with Samir here for this game.
There is still Heavy Borger and...
No, that was the Raisin from his hand. The other Raisin is now in graveyard because it was destroyed by Fenrir. So he doesn't have a known fire in hand for Jarlong to search.
Gets to keep it after the game, of course. And I mean, that's another Fire Warrior on his side. We have gotta be something.
But he can Caesar return the Jarlong so that his Caesar is live, and then he can bounce the Caesar for Borga to draw a card with the Mad Love. He still has a pop and a draw.
I mean, if he has an extra copy of the Diabellstar Witch, maybe.
Oh.
Wait, is she dark? Yeah, she is dark.
However, still all of the monsters would be protected by card effects.
Yeah,
from
true,
card
true,
effects.
true. So it seems like there's a judge question going on right now. Yeah, that's why we quickly bring it back over to us. So something to take care of.
Samir's
Judges,
wondering if he
and in
can
the meantime,
use
we can keep talking about
the Raisin's
stats.
second
Do
effect
you think Rescue Ace is going to win this tournament?
to pop the
Quickly.
Jarlong.
No.
No.
Okay, so which deck is going
It's
to
not
win
like
this
it really
tournament?
matters because you just chain Caesar, tag out the Jarlong. And then you get to summon Caesar in another column.
A lot of very good decks. So I
No,
think
no,
if
no,
you ask
that
me
was
if you
not
think
the
Rescue
question.
Ace is going to win, I'd say no. But it doesn't mean I know which deck is going to win. But if I'm going to make a decision, I'll say Dragon Link.
Okay, so hear me out. No, I said Fluwanderies yesterday. But there's plenty of very good Italian players who shifted away from Fluwanderies.
Shifted away from the Wanderers.
Shifted away. So there is one player, I think, who is going to win the YCS Bologna because the story is just, it just fits. And that is Lorenzo Muselli. And I think that he's going to take it all the way with his Centurion deck.
Maybe I was wondering if you can raise and
like
stolen
the
stores
ball.
protection from stone.
If we talk about players, I will add up to this.
Oh, so you're wondering if you can raise and protect even though it was already protected. Maybe, yeah.
Usually that would be my call, but I'm shifting away from that call for this one right here too. And I'm going to call out the player that was
ruling
in
question
top
is just,
8
hey,
YC's
can
Gold,
raise and
but if
protect
we
itself
think
if it's
strong
already
about
being
YC's
protected by
Bologna,
Snow
I
Devil?
think Gabriel Nats changing to a different deck for this event is having a really good run. He was X1 after the first day of the tournament. And
Which I
high
think the
hopes
answer should be
this
yes.
time maybe go even deeper into the tournament compared to YC's Dortmund, where he already made top 8. So, Tom, do we have a player you're looking out for as well?
Okay, I'm going to give a really boring answer and say Joshua Schmidt. Honorary Dragon Link deck. We saw it yesterday. It wasn't exactly a Dragon Link, but I think it's close enough. It's a Dragon Link in spirit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, those are all high caliber players, so I definitely think we made some good choices there. I do really like the Lorenzo Muselli call as well, because the Centurion deck really looks impressive. And also one more thing that you may have not really seen on the live stream, on the coverage here, but something that we can tell you because we are also going through the top tables there and we have some extra information there. I think the Fire King deck is doing more than we were anticipating. There are like 4 or 5 Fire King decks at the top 30 tables or something like that. So impressive performance so far by Black, honestly.
Yeah, there's always that advantage.
I mean, if it's doing well before it's gotten the Snake Eyes cards, imagine how well it's gonna do afterwards, right?
Maybe there's some excellent water card that negates all of your opponent's fire monsters that exist somewhere, but no one's gonna have it in their side deck for this event, so...
I mean, honestly, if there is a card to counter fire card, I would expect it to be a Rescue Ace card.
It has to be, yeah, just by nature. You're right, you're right, you're right. So, deck-wise, that means we're having a Dragon Link, Centurion, and also, I will not give away just yet what Gabriel Nats is on, but he's definitely also on a very good deck for this event. And overall, I think when we looked at the metagame breakdown for the first
That's another
round,
player
we
who
saw
we
that
should
there
add
was
to the
Rescue
list,
Ace,
right?
we are just seeing, and Unchained on top of the leaderboard. Do you expect this to change majorly moving into top 64 when we have our next breakdown, or do you expect to see something similar there?
I do expect a drastic change, to be honest.
To be honest.
Because I don't think that the Unchained players and the Rescuers players have performed super well so far. Both of these decks were super hard prepared for by all of the other duelists. And it's just looking like it's gonna be a tough time for them to win.
8-1 day 1, and then he just needs to win the next 2. So, on the go, I guess.
This is maybe going to take over the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, there'll be some changes, and maybe, as you guys both mentioned, it'll be the decks that people haven't prepared for that are gaining ground in day 2 or in the top 64, like Dragon Link.
Which would usually be the case, right? The decks that people are prepared for are going to be heavily countered, and therefore they're not going to perform that well in comparison to the other decks that are like underdog decks. But do you think we're going to have a new first place? Do you think there's I think the Labyrinth call I like. I think when I walk through those top tables,
I'm not gonna lie, I just think this is another Unchained YCS.
Taking over the top tables, and I would as well not be surprised if it would also be taking over the top cut, honestly. But another deck that I was also seeing quite a bit of, to be fair, is Telemans. Telemans was sitting in 3rd place in the overall.
Like, there's no shot it's anything but Unchained.
Surprised if that would also be jumping up, maybe to 1st or at least 2nd place.
If top tables is Fire
What I
Kings.
have about Telemans is it's a deck that occupies a lot of space in people's minds because it's so much fun. So I think a lot of people play it, even when it's not necessarily the best deck. I think everyone's going to play it. Everyone wants to play it. You know, at Dortmund, I was talking to a lot of people before the event, and they said, "Oh, you know, I'm going to play this cool new deck. I've found this great build of Telemans. Like, no one's going to expect it." And then it was like
everyone
it was the most popular deck almost. So, and then again, it's another card that it's very easy to side deck for. There's so many cards that just.
I want to see the top 32 breakdown, but it's 4:24 AM in NA. Well, don't be a fucking pussy, stay up. Watch some Yu-Gi-Oh! Us EU people stay up for American events. I've watched one too many YCSs until like 5, 6 a.m. I think it'll look very similar to the actual like event breakdown. So we'll see like a similar thing between like this amount of other decks topped and then this amount of yada yada decks topped and then it's just like 42% other. Because I mean, if the pro players are on quote unquote spice, then the format's kind of wacky wacky. How long is this judge call? Oh my word. They appeal to the head judge, hey, can a card that's protected by card effect be protected by card effect again?
No.
Fucking jump scare me, Reese.
Five.
Hello. What were you saying? You just came in and said no, Megalol.
Yeah, but I thought you would have heard I joined. I've been here for 20 minutes.
I literally haven't heard anything from you.
Part of my
Reese just appears out of nowhere and is fucking loud. I know I'm busy adjusting volume now. I need to change my output for Discord. Talk.
okay.
Okay, epic.
And tell me what to do.
I will. Fuck you. Okay, you should be like mediocre level now.
Sounds like a plan.
Maybe I need to lower you in Discord as well. You're like cock loud. Okay. This is the R10 feature, and I mean it's Vanquishal versus Rescue Ace, and then Samir went talents to take the Raisin, and then he went Chain Raisin, reveal cards to make it computable by card effects, but it was already protected by the Snow Devil, so it's just a judge call whether or not you can protect the card by card effects twice.
I think you can, unless sorry.
I think you can as well, but I might be wrong.
Unless it says unaffected by other card effects. Yeah, you can protect twice with kind of card effects. I'm pretty sure you can.
I'm gonna pull up OCG database quick.
I know you can't negate an effect of a monster that's already been
Not
negated,
that.
but that's because the monster has no effects.
Yeah.
The judges are probably doing exactly the same.
Hello, database. Anytime now? Oh god, none of it is translated. Let me move this here.
Oh, you don't have the translate plugin.
No, it pops up automatically because it's the AI thingy, but it's not popping up like a little bitch. Oh, gross. I'll just use Google Translate, I guess.
Link me the site and I'll read it out
No,
to you.
exceeds character limit. Where is this AI thingy? Hold up. Looks like they're back anyway.
A little bit of gesturing
little
going
bit of
on
chatting.
right
What was
there.
the ruling?
But we have a Vanquished Soul Raisin on the field.
Oh,
right
Samir
now.
looks very
And
mad,
there is
though.
no Jalong anywhere.
It's no Jalong.
The
Well, it's probably in the hand,
still
but it's
is
not
in
on the
hand.
field.
So we just gotta
So one
talk
guy's
about
speaking, the other
how
guy's like, what the hell is this guy saying?
If you reveal a card in
I
your
think he's
hand to activate
French,
a Vanquish
so he's
Soul
doing
card
that
in your
really.
hand, except doing the damage
Oui,
step,
oui,
you
oui.
summon this card from your hand.
Yeah, I mean,
Sounds like it
Marvin
should.
definitely activated the effect of Raz and revealed a card, so...
So the
Oh,
thing
they're
that
both
was
7-2,
interesting
so
to me
none of them
was
owe
that
shit, I
Samir,
guess.
right away,
It's very
before
serious.
we even
Yeah.
got the judges involved, was pointing towards the
Okay, so I think the
Snow
judges
Devil.
said no, you
So
can't
it was
activate
kinda-
Raisin.
He was kind of referring to the Snow Devil, but there is no restriction with these Snow Devils, so I really
Why do
don't
judges
understand
always
what the
get
issue here
do the
was.
weirdest calls on streams?
But it doesn't look like the
I don't know.
Jalong's hit
Like,
the
I swear
field.
80% of the calls
We
on streams
did
are
not
just
get
wrong.
the Jiaolong out there. So
we're going
we
into the
summon out
Hita.
Hita, and of course
check
there
afterwards,
is a
I'll confirm with my
Firehawk
own
Samurai
head
dealing with
judge.
the Rasen, and Samir is going to use that Rasen and his own Hita to link summon up into maybe Celine. Yeah, looks like we are going to Celine.
I would like to know
Oh, he's
the reasoning why and where in the rules it
He's
says that
already been in
things can't be
Battlefield this time.
protected
Yeah, after all of
twice.
this, you do have to remember it's main phase 2. Sometimes you can
Well,
forget that after
they
you
make
do
it the
a
fuck
really
up, that's the
long
thing.
Judge call or
Unfortunately,
even like a very long turn. You
because
can
there's
think,
no
oh,
rules
because
for
it was
shit.
such a short battle phase.
Yeah, it happened a lot with evenly match for me as well. At locals, you like a
Reborn
like a second
Gearbox,
phase.
We have second main phase, why not second battle phase?
Exactly. No,
Then you
sometimes you just forget
Like
what happened on the
Appo.
turn. The games are long. The turns are long, especially.
Oh, it's an unlimited
And this
Appo,
stuff
gross.
just comes up sometimes.
Oh, and I thought maybe Samir now
Why is
he
it
just
unlimited?
established Wannapalooza and that's it, but he's not
No,
done
the
yet. He
rarity.
just starts comboing.
It's not the best yet.
Have the alert once again to
You're playing
protect
the secret rave, but it's
Hybrid
unlimited
summoning
edition.
out
It's
the
cringe.
almighty turbulence, and are we going to resolve that, or does Marvin have a way to prevent it?
That's actually probably rarer than the first
Yeah,
edition,
Venta.
which is hilarious to me.
Almost. Marvin would have to have
It's
it, but
rarer,
that
yes,
is
but
not
the
case
first
right
edit's
here.
more
And all of a
expensive, that's what
sudden,
it's
the
about.
great follow-up that Marvin has in his hand does
I
not
guess.
look too good anymore because there is so much follow-up by Samir.
Yeah, it's interesting now. I mean, although you know we weren't quite sure what happened. The
Would
fact
in
that
worse
it
if he
happened
pulled out
means
the
we're gonna
gold
have
ray.
an exciting kind of battle now, right? Because Marvin's going to be playing
No,
his full
the
engines,
ultra
Samir's
rare
got access
from
to his whole
Magnificent
engine, so
Mavens.
it's going to be
That's
really
the
exciting
worst.
to see the two engines
The gold ray is worse
fight
than
off
that.
against each other, especially the big fire engine.
On stream, the gold ray looks better
The fire
because
engine pun, right? I love this. It's a reoccurring theme
it stands
this
out.
weekend. Happy to
Appaloosa common win?
Yeah.
Oh my
I mean,
word.
the thing is that it's really hard to
wait for
overcome the
that.
SQA's deck if they set for you.
They can't
basically
Get my
print
comment.
They can't print more high rarity versions of Appaloosa because it'll ruin the value of the Starlight and everyone will be
If he
mad.
had one, he would have probably cited it out going first, right? I mean, do you
print
still
commons,
cite
you
it
know?
out? It's such a good card.
Then you can play your common imperms and your common Appaloosas and your common
Also,
ashes.
everyone, I can now finally
They don't
present
really
you
need to
the
reprint
reason we were
Appaloosa, it's not
talking
like a
about
super
the
expensive
reason
card.
why the Raisin was not able, or the Jiaolong rather was
No,
not
they need to
able
reprint
to
access
activate.
code. That is a card they need
Because-
to reprint.
That's why
Yes.
Samir pointed towards the trap, because Rasen was already
Because that's a card that goes into
protected
every
to not
deck,
be destroyed by card
and you
effects.
just-
It could
it's
not
annoying
activate
to
its
get.
effect anymore to not be able to destroy by
But
card
borrow
effects anymore, you
soul.
know? But that's the effect that he was
Emergency
trying to
summon
activate there. It was
Preventer.
already protected by card effects, and therefore he couldn't activate the effect again to further
What
protect
used
it
to
from
be?
card effect destruction.
Tribute Preventer
Therefore,
from
yeah,
hand.
that was
Summon
why
the
he couldn't
Airlifter
even
from
activate the Rasen there
Banished,
anymore,
and then
Samir could
Turbulence
just
and
take it over.
Airlifter
And that's why
into
Samir
an
was
SB, I
pointing
think.
towards the trap, you know? He's like,
Yeah.
you are already
IP.
protected from card effects, so that is not going
So
to
he
work
can
there.
Preventer
Yep, that is why
Book a
Samir now is
monster,
able to do all of
IP into
this.
SP, banish one, and then reborn the
very good
Airlift
think about as
after
well.
Turbulence.
There we go. Very quick catch by
So
Samir
it's
also, right?
a 2-mat Apo,
Vankersoul is more of a rogue
2
person.
banishes
So
from
initially he's
SD,
like, is that
Preventer,
really
Book
how
of
it's going to
Moon,
work?
plus the 3 back row.
Oh, and Preventer is immediately trying
So it's
to
going to
set
go
up
Preventer, Book the
Fenrir
Fenrir,
face down, and it is going
which
to
is correct.
work. Just like a charm right there. Now Marvin needs to find the follow-up in his Raisin. He knows that this is not going to be an easy turn for him. And busy normal summon Dr. Mad Love.
Normal
He's
Mad
summoned
Love
the Raisin
effect.
already. He's in the graveyard.
He had 2 in his hand in the first turn, so there's probably 1 more.
Yeah.
What more Vanquish Soul spells and traps does he have, if any?
Let me just
Does he
quickly
have
check his
Continue?
list. I would think maybe Continue is one of the cards you would want to
Please, there is a
include,
question mark, Sebastian.
But there is no Continue in his deck.
Oh.
The only spell and trap of the Vanquish Soul stuff, he's just playing the Snow Devil, yeah, but nothing else besides that.
And the return to hand effect of Mad Love, is it the lowest defense monster, I want to say?
quick double check, is it going to be the lowest defense monster?
Yes.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was the lowest or the highest defense, but the lowest defense would get rid of the Hydrant. But if it's the highest defense, yeah.
Okay, there comes IP Masquerena as a fact, and Marvin wants to respond
Chain
with Dr.
Mad
Love,
Chain
revealing
Apo.
to Samir quickly follows that up with the he's considering it, already playing around with the dice, but he's considering the Appaloosa effect activation as well.
Now, I find IP Masquerena as an answer to this quite interesting. Because if you link away one of the monsters, then the other one is going to get returned to the hand. However, you can also link away both of those.
And then the Mad Love would go back to the hand.
Oh, yes.
But I think it was Mad Love activated as Chain Link 2 in response to IP.
Indeed. Okay. I think we now have
You don't Apo here.
Still no activation from the Appaloosa.
He's going to Apo, but you shouldn't. You should keep the Appaloosas for the both of the Borgo and Caesar in hand.
IP is looking so good here. We are probably going to see the card of the tournament again. SP Little Knight might be the next card that is coming from Samir's side, but Marvin is trying to go for another monster. Caesar Valius.
Now you have to Apo.
By returning the Vanquish Soul Dr. Mad Love to the hand.
And it is not a cost to return Mad Love?
Really?
It is.
No, it's definitely not. Okay, so there is Caesar Valius now. Marvin still able to play into this field.
A nice play from Marvin because you can only use Appaloosa once in the same chain. So he's going to sneak that Caesar Valius into play before Samir can do anything about it.
Oh, Samir not sure with which monster he wants to link summon, but he does ultimately decide on the Hydrant, bringing out the SP Little Knight that Leo was already anticipating. Most popular link monster
Mad Love clears the Apo, doesn't it? No, Mad Love can only bounce monsters with defense stats.
Linking of a Preventer is of course always value. However, it looks like there's only
But since link monsters don't have a defense stat, they can't be bounced by Mad Love.
Monster, and now we are trying to activate the Caesar Valius effect.
Oh, and
No, I think, yeah, the Geolong.
this time
Yeah,
Jalong
that's
is
Jalong,
able
yeah.
to activate the fact
I'm
because
beating over it.
the Dr. Madlove activated.
Now everyone is reading different cards right now. At the
And
same
now we
time.
have to figure out.
I mean, Dr. Madlove still activated his effect on the field, so it should absolutely be possible to now also activate the Jalong. Yeah,
But does
there we go.
Appaloosa negate effects or activations of effects?
That is a valid question.
You
but
can't
he-
really Mad Love beat over Apo because you go battle phase, he pops the Mad Love, and then you can't chain any of your Caesar.
Can't activate Jalong all of a sudden.
Can't chain Caesar or Borgo, so you just lose your monster and then you lose from there.
Yeah.
So you have to play in the main phase.
Are really, really interesting here. So, indeed, Appaloosa.
At this point, we also have to take a look at the time right now because there's only 4 minutes remaining. This is getting closer and closer, but now the Caesar Valius is going to be banished. Of course, Jalong is.
So chain Caesar to pop and then Apo to negate, summon Jalong.
Powerful trap cards on Samir's
And
side.
our the only known card left in hand is Borgo and Mad Love, right?
Borga in hand, maybe.
Must be a Borga.
There must always be a Borga.
At the end of the day, there will always be a Borga somewhere. Just going to show you.
It looks like he has a shifter in
Rescue
hand
Ace
as
trap
well.
Cards that do not have Rescue Ace in their name, but of course they are always treated as Rescue Ace cards, as you can see at the first line of the card.
Link for
By the way,
Rock.
this is round 10 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series in Bologna, if you have just tuned
Rock
in.
gets negated.
We're having a pretty intense duel between Samir and Marvin.
Okay, there comes Contain. Going to go after the Rock of the Vanquisher. Marvin considering whether to respond to that or not.
Was it in response to the rock effect?
It seems like it, yeah.
Rock with Typhon.
Oh, and there's Typhon, of course. Samir was
And
summoning
then
from his
extinguish
extra deck a
Typhon.
lot last turn.
And that should be
therefore
Joba.
Typhon is going to hit the field here.
And now Marvin can't summon.
I think
any
he's just
more
playing for
monsters.
time at the moment.
Summon Typhon.
Yeah.
That is indeed correct.
So do we think that was just too much stuff from Samir for Marvin to overcome?
Okay, so I was just double checking with the judges whether Xiaolong was able to activate, because we were wondering when the activation of the effect was negated whether you could still be able to even then trigger the
Xiaolong only
command. So
cares
I,
if a monster is revealed for the cost to activate. So if it's still revealed for the cost in a new chain, it can still activate.
I like Super Star Slayer Typhon Sky Crisis a lot as a last resort play. However, I have not seen this weekend that someone really won the game off of summoning that Star Slayer.
Well, I mean,
right, yeah.
Yeah, you often don't have a lot to do.
Yeah.
You mean you can't do anything afterwards, right? So, I mean, sometimes it can be clutch, but it feels like you're playing it in quite a bad situation. Your opponent must have done a lot last turn, and you're going to get to bounce one further monster.
Okay, so Samir now activating multiple trap cards. And
Oh,
all
it
let's
was
remember all
contained,
those
so
trap
you-
cards.
You can't use it as an XYZ material, but he doesn't control a Hydrant.
I
so
feel like this is
can't use it
over.
as an XYZ.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like all those cards there were free, right? He was just
And now we're in
giving them
another
for
judge
free
call.
through the turbulence, setting 4 cards. This card still blows my mind. Like just saying, hey, set 4 different Rescue Ace spell and trap cards from your deck, and if you have Hydrant on the field, you may as well just activate one
Very
of them this
fun.
turn as well. So that's just crazy
And
to
all
me.
of the cards get extra effects as well.
Is this the final round?
So you're
No,
not
it's not
No, it's just round 10.
monstrous effect, but you're completely blocking it out.
Yeah.
So maybe it would have been a slightly better play to link off the Preventer with the IP Masquerader and keep the Hydrant on the field.
Fair, yeah. I do absolutely understand that. So it's no surprise to me that since the release of the Sinful Spoils cards, we had a YCS being won by Rescue Ace in the hands of Steve Santoli, of course, over in the US. Very accomplished player, piloting this deck all the way to victory in the finals. They played out even the mirror match. It was 2 Rescue Ace decks in the finals, and still, even though we are not convinced that it is going to win this weekend, we have our underdog picks, but I would also not be shocked if it ends up winning the tournament, right?
No, I mean, it's definitely a very powerful deck. I think sometimes, you know,
I mean, I can understand why there's so many judge calls. It's the bubble match, and both players really, like, obviously want to top. It's a fucking YCS.
You win with other cards every single
Yeah, you don't want your bubble match to be decided by a rulings issue.
There's most of the time before one of the matches, before the tournament starts, that there is one day.
But it's also getting hella close to time now.
Thought of before, or some people have considered before, that it's just going absolutely.
And they need to
crazy.
get extra time.
I remember when it was Sprite, Runic, Live Twin, or just Sprite.
There's no
Runic,
slow play issues because both players have
I
kept
don't
up
think that this
a
tournament,
slower than average pace, but it's not a slow play
we
pace.
didn't have like a crazy combo that was just revealed on the Friday. We didn't have a crazy control deck or any tech card that was crazy. And yeah, the game is seems to continue. That is quite nice, so we can continue that thought as well. And yeah, I think we should just go into the game.
All right, here we go. Back into the action, back into where we left. So Typhon was just coming to the field, and here we go again.
So Typhon, it looks like he's going to be extinguished.
Yep, and there we are extinguishing the Typhon. This is still looking rather good for Samir. Keep in mind that the clock is ticking down right here. There's just a set monster on Marvin's side. Can he continue playing?
Marvin trying to get back his Caesar Valleys, but maybe that's not going to happen.
Not that kind
Yeah.
of SP Little Knight effect, no.
Infos, summon back Hydrant, and then it should just be game.
Samir with a great setup going into this turn. Less than 3 minutes. Currently Marvin leading in terms of life points, but Samir certainly with the advantage right now on the field.
And he plays
Yeah,
very
they love
fast
to.
when he knows what he's doing. He thinks for a minute and then just kind of zooms everything onto the field.
Absolutely, yep. Okay, so there we go. Samir is having a party in his camera, you can see it. He just wants to get this done with. I think that's what he was referring to. I just want to be done with this. Let's get this over. I think this is the turn where I'm winning this game, where I'm winning this match, where I move on with still an X2 record, which gives me a chance to top this tournament.
And I think it is going to be very easy for
No
him
more
to
airlift
find
to add
a
emergency.
some point right there, because you normal summon airlifter,
I think they added extra time on the clock, which is why Samir was really happy.
and go into another
It gives him a decent amount of time to think.
monster if you even have to get rid of that face down Fenrir. I don't think it's
Prevent to attack.
You can't attack directly.
That
is true, yeah.
Makes an access code, access target Appaloosa, 64, and then battle phase. Or banish and then pop and then battle phase.
Making the 6,300 attack points, access code talker, destroying the Fenrir, and that should already be enough to seal the deal here.
Yes, and Samir is going to announce the battle phase. He is attacking with the access code talker and the preventer.
That is game.
Samir Bacha advances now in round number 11.
I think Samir played really bad in the game